8th grade. This is my 11th year at the school, and I've been using this space as a science lab for the past 4 years. I remember walking by the science lab as a 3rd and 4th grader. It seemed so exciting to be in the actual science lab. Then 5th grade comes, and I was finally in the science lab. I learned how over the course of my 4 years in this room, I would dissect a rat, do experiments, and hear lots of lectures. As time passed, I learned how listening to those lectures wasn't very enjoyable. I wouldn't get to dissect a rat till 7th grade, and I did it virtually since I was too scared. And that some of those experiments were so hard to do in such a small, closed space. At the end of last year, I saw the drawings for the new science lab, and it was so exciting. Fun chairs to spin in that help people move around and stay focused. Whiteboard walls to write on, and even a hole in the wall for contemplation. Finally, after almost 2 weeks of school, the new Macomb Drisha opened, or as we like to call it, the Drish. In my first class in the room, I remember thinking about how amazing this new space is, and that amazing feeling continues today. The old lab didn't spark any interest. This one is much more fascinating to use. It helped make science more interesting, and I think I've learned so much more because of this lab. I can seriously say that because of this new lab, I've come into science with a more open mind, and because of that, have learned a lot more. If I want to draw a model, I can draw it on the walls. If I want to sit anywhere in the room while listening, I can. The old lab was separated into 2 parts, the lab and the classroom. Now everything is out in the open, and we can do experiments anywhere. We have such better technology in this new space. In the old lab, everything was outdated. The new technology lets us be able to learn everything much more easily. There's no more tech mishaps, and everything runs smoothly. We actually had the oldest projector board in the entire school. Now, as you can see, we don't have those projector boards anymore, but instead we use walls to project ideas and Apple TV to show our work. These are just a few of my favorite reflections from the new space. I'm going to leave you with 2 stories. This year, we made 3 different apparatuses to explore force and motion, and we needed different materials. Last year, we would have needed our teacher to get all the materials out, which had really limited our creative thinking. This year, we could get everything ourselves. Possibilities were endless. This new space has made everything so much easier to get to that we don't have to worry about getting our materials. All we have to worry about is learning about science. About a week ago, we were given an iterative design project, where we had 3 days to make 3 iterative designs. Iterative design is when you have a design and you keep fixing it using a special process. One of the tasks was to make a balloon go from one side of the room to the other in a straight line. We had limited materials that included string, tape, a balloon, and a straw. All of the groups ended up making a zip line from one side of the room to the other. With this new lab, it was so easy to have an open space from one side of the room to the other. If we were still in the old lab, we wouldn't have been able to get the string from one side of the room to the other because there would be no room. The new lab has created much more open space that lets us be able to think creatively and act on it. Thank you so much for making this Macomb Drisha happen. We as students are so grateful for your support. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts and from inside our creative brains. Thank you.